John, what have you selected for the crew?
We've got this green-black Delirium deck, which is pretty nice.
Pretty standard issue.
I was going to see if he was going to announce what he was playing, because they were talking about it. But he is playing green-white Elves.
Oh, okay.
So we've got an Elves deck with a Delirium deck on there. I think it might be the full Abzan Elves, honestly.
This Delirium deck has really gone up in value. That Grimflayer doubled in price last weekend.
Oh, yeah. He's big money now.
It's a big money mythic. Alright.
There we go.
And I really love it when players get their last gasp of a set. The Elves were a limited theme in Origins, and
Get you for one.
in their
Beast Collar Savant. Bring in the hasty beats.
here they are in their last final weeks of existence. There's our friend the Grimflayer.
Grimflayer's going to put a stop to this 1-1 beatdown nonsense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have the full-blown Abzan Elves. I literally have no idea what could be coming. He's got 4 creature mana available.
Getting in there does not want to take the one. Or does not want to take the risk on that Grimflayer.
That's probably fine. See, he'll take it on the way back.
Sure.
So if he played around the pump spell and then played into the pump spell? Or do you think
he's playing around the Death Touch on the Blight Soil.
Mmm.
Keeps 2 on top with Grimflayer. That's pretty aggressive. They must be good ones.
Either that or he could have untapped and had Ghastly Demise
Mm-hmm.
in hand. Because then any pump spell he gets Demise, and the Trample and the Flare still lets him trigger.
Sure. Ghastly Demise.
That's the wrong card, isn't it?
Yeah, that's an old one. I like that card.
Yeah.
It's actually a pretty good synergy with Grimflayer while we're on the topic.
Yeah. Work that one into your Legacy deck, folks. I meant, God, why can't I think of the name of the card?
I don't know what to do.
If I'm gonna do this, it's the -4 card.
Grasp of Darkness.
Grasp of Darkness. I need to get on it. Come on.
You need to get
Tay.
your shit together.
All the way together. It's starting to sound like other coverage teams, and that's not where I want to be. Did I see a big emerge card in the Elves player hand?
I believe you saw Mr. Piggy, the Decimator of Provinces himself.
This just makes the rest of the team... Oh, gosh. Holy smokes.
Why are we responding? Ooh, fight that foil one. I don't like that.
Yeah, 2 for 1 yourself, and Liliana's just gonna dominate this board. She gets to go up and gain a card every turn.
Can we get some counters on that Liliana?
And the Grimflayer is Delirious. So it's got full-blown Tarmogoyf mode now.
Yeah. Excuses.
It does not... Yep. That's what you gotta do. And I don't know what the Abzan deck does here. You sit around and wait until you have 7-8 mana for Decimator Provinces?
So it looks like he's got a Coco in hand.
No, that's a magic card.
That's certainly a magic card. Ishkanah's going to put a serious dent in whatever offense he cooks up with that Coco, though.
See, this is what my concern with the whole format is. Is this green black delirium deck is just it's not it produces so much defense
Mm-hmm.
that you would have to be on Goblin Guide speed of offense to get past it.
That's an aggressive statement. So he had the double Grimflayer hand, which is very strong. But I mean, sometimes you just don't draw a Grimflayer and you don't play anything until like a Pilgrim's Eye on turn 3.
Sure.
Or an Ishkana on 5. So it's definitely beatable.
Yep, I guess so.
I think we're going to see like some hybrid Delirium energy deck that pops up in green-black.
Yeah, I would love to see a very Jundy energy deck. The red-green guy that you get to spend an energy every turn. That's where I want to be. I don't want to be using all my energy to like fire off a big thing at the yeah. And here's where Grimflayer's Trample really matters.
Yeah.
Because if you remove that creature after blocks, you get the trigger and you get all 4 of the damage.
The trigger is the important thing there. Like, so much of this deck relies on just hitting that trigger every turn.
You don't think getting to win the game is important?
It does matter sometimes.
Sometimes winning the game matters?
Sometimes winning the game matters.
I think 4 is a huge life total chunk in a format like Standard.
Definitely, but you wouldn't waste a card if it was just getting you 2 extra damage.
Yeah, it's letting your Flayer live too.
In this
The
case,
death touch
certainly,
of the, you know. Yeah, in my mind, this game is finished.
Oh, it's been finished for turns. I'm surprised you didn't fire off the Coco last turn.
It's really up to Jeff to, think of the possible cards he could have, and avoid losing the game.
Absolutely.
To that end, I think you have to be, you have to get a laser focus on what the fastest way to win the game is, without over playing into their hands.
Right. Sylvan Advocate could be a good one here if he had the 6 lands.
Right? I think the Advocate's obviously a great card, but I think this Abzan deck is definitely leaning on the creature mana.
Oh, sure.
The cheapest Decimator Provinces coming down for is, I haven't seen anything that costs more than 2, so 7 plus a sacrifice a creature?
Right.
Does it kill him?
Yeah, because it was 4 damage from the Grimflayer.
Oh,
3
sure.
of it, and then 1.
I didn't realize it was double locked.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, and here's the big old spider.
Got a big old spider getting there.
And this deck's different than the Teamer deck that we saw last week. You actually actively want to be activating the spider.
Double Advocate. Yeah, I would agree that
Like
activating a spider is a relevant play, and will likely be the way that he wins this game.
Yeah, these Advocates don't matter. You get to sit back,
Kill an elf token.
kill an elf token, activate activate spider in his end step, untap, activate spider again. Call it a game. If that fails, ultimate Liliana.
Yeah, that's also a surefire way to end a game of Magic. Does he have a way to kill him this turn? Doesn't look like it.
Well, Ishkanah has 3 power, so it's not like the worst thing in the world to get him in.
Right.
take down the elf token and get Ishkana in, you get to at least trade for a creature. Or not even trade, just eat it.
Just eat it.
Oh. Three, 4, plus 4. If he attacked with everything, he would have won the game.
If you would have attacked with everything, including like Quagmires, or not including Quagmires?
No, not including Quagmires, including tokens.
So he could block the Ishkana and one of the tokens and take in 2 damage there.
Then he activates, take 4.
Well, he just took 3. So he was at 8. So he takes 3 and then 4 to put him at 2.
Yeah.
Yep. Don't really care. Wasn't going to ultimate anyway.
Yep. My math was bad there. But his attack was good.
I agree. So one thing I'm excited about with the Delirium deck in the new standard is getting to play these Gear Hulks with strong enters the battlefield abilities and big bodies. You can even potentially emerge off of.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I know that they've really been pushing the vehicles, but I just don't find any of them I want to invest my effort into.
Yeah, so the one that kind of caught my eye, if Chandra does become like this huge format warping thing, the 5/3 that becomes an artifact creature, the turn it comes into play and it's trample and haste, is a really strong way to take down a Chandra that just hit the board.
Right.
Similar to the way that Slash Panther was used to take out Jace the Mind Sculptor.
In Vintage?
In Vintage.
Do you remember? Do you remember that one Gen Con where Vintage Champs was happening and like foil Japanese Slash Panther went to like $350 or something?
Yeah, it was absurd. It was a one-day only special. If you had them, you got to cash in big. But yeah, that was the tech of the tournament. It was pretty sweet.
Yep. Yeah, I think that card's gonna be cool.
I agree.
The thing I saw that I think is a great little nostalgia play is they brought back the you may remember from 5th Dawn where they had the station cycle.
Oh,
and
yeah.
if you got them all into play, they did something infinitely.
Well, pseudo-infinitely.
Right, pseudo-infinitely. Well, the module cycle does the same thing.
Oh, does it?
Yes. So if you get all 3 of them into play, you get infinite 1/1 servos with 1/1 counters on them. Let's see, do I have to spend the energy? No, and infinite energy. Or you get as much, you have to pay 1 mana, and you get a 1/1 servo with a +1/+1 counter on it and 1 energy.
Oh, wow.
Which is a heck of a rate.
Absolutely. What are you paying the mana for? Like, what does it go into?
So, alright, so you get all 3 of them into play, and the animation module says whenever 1 +1/+1 counter is placed on a permanent, you can pay 1 to make a servo. And then the fabrication module says, or the concoction module says whenever a creature enters the battlefield, you get an energy.
What is it? Deconcoction?
DECOCT.
Can we say that on this?
Decoction? Decoction?
Let me see this. Decoction. Yeah, I'm not sure we can say that on Twitch. I think we get shut down for that.
I guess we're getting bleeped.
Alright, bleep this out.
Anyway, the D module...
Oh, well, that's even worse. Bleep that one, too.
Says whenever a creature enters, you get an energy. And then the fabrication says whenever you get an energy, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control.
Okay.
So then you put a +1/+1 counter on the creature you just created,
Yeah.
pay 1 again, get another energy, put another counter on.
So what? You just need 1 mana to start this loop, or do you need 1 mana and
You need a creature to come into play to start the loop.
So you need a creature to come into play to start the loop. Pretty cool.
Yeah. Conveniently, the the module that shall not be named. You can pay 4 and tap it to return a creature to its owner's hand.
Oh, nice.
Creature you control. So it's not like a crystal shard.
Man,
But yeah,
Shard was insane
I think that's
in that
cool.
one.
These are all yeah. The animation modules are rare and the other 2 are uncommons.
Okay.
But I think that's powerful enough that like they're each individually powerful enough that I would take the rare first in draft. And then as the uncommons come around, pick them up and just be happy about it.
Yeah. You know what'd be sick is if like all the arts worked in together too.
Is that the case? Oh, they do.
Holy smokes. Yeah, that looks really cool.
Man, I wish they would have done. If there's a team Kaladesh sealed and they do that as for the mats, 3 cards, 3 mats wide.
That'd be very cool.
Oh man.
We're going to this team Eldritch Moon Seal, and they've got 3 different playmats, which is pretty cool.
Right. Which one do you want?
I don't know if I want to announce that. I think I want to be able to slow roll it with the team, like, oh, I don't really want that one, but I'll take it if you guys throw in that Liliana we opened as well, type deal.
I see. They're all zombies.
I agree. Well, I disagree. One of them is a zombie maker.
I guess one of them, yes, is in charge of the zombies.
Sure.
Should clearly be the team, whoever the captain is. I don't know if you guys have elected a captain, but we definitely do not.
So I think you have, like, a typical team sealed layout would be to have, like, the captain in the middle, like the very strong player in the middle, so
Sure.
he can help, like, the 2 maybe not as strong players on the side.
Right.
Our situation is that we have one just god-awful player in Jake Valentine, who just shouldn't be,
Give
playing
him the
Magic
business.
still.
Wow.
But we threw him in the middle so that we can both coach him.
Sure.
Is our plan.
We've got a strong start from the Elves player again. Turn one mana producing elf.
Off of a Llanowar Waste, which is unfortunately not long for this standard format.
More Llanowar Waste. And I think he takes damage if he taps this elf. So any casting of spells here is going to be a painful ordeal.
I think I saw an Infinite Obliteration in his hand, which would just make me the saddest. I don't know if this is widely known about me, but Infinite Obliteration is probably my least favorite Magic card.
Really?
Yeah. Just that effect. There's a lot of people that really lean on it, and rightfully so. And like you're playing up against World Breakers, for instance, like it was very good in that standard.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just an atrocious Magic card.
Gosh. This guy's got more vessels than an Egyptian tomb.
Ayo. We might be able to find out here in like 6 months how many vessels are in an actual Egyptian tomb.
Yeah. I hope they keep this up with sending us a New Worlds. It's my fave.
I agree. This one feels particularly great.
So the Elves thing has really come after him this time.
Yeah, you gotta wonder if he's got a languish. He didn't see like a whole lot of explosiveness last game.
Right.
So he might not have brought in the 4th languish. Gnarlwood Dryad.
Oh, man.
That'll slow him down. Especially if he gets to the 3/3 mode. Off of
So
his
do I Vessel now, or do I pump the brakes and let him attack in? Oh, neither. Just cast another dude.
I'm not real happy with that, but it It is what it is. So, like, he has Dramoka's command.
Mm-hmm.
So you set yourself up for, like,
A command blowout here.
yeah, 2-for-2 command blowout.
Yeah, you don't want to put him in that commanding of a lead.
Haha. You're on fire tonight.
I'm doing all right.
So we've got the ability to make any of our attackers death touch, which helps us get in here a little bit.
So it's interesting. He's value. As a Delirium player, I would trade off any card on board for the elite. Well, I would definitely trade off the Dryad for the elite.
Absolutely.
Since Liliana is my trump in this match.
Right.
And the elite's the only card that Liliana can't
Speaking of,
kill right now. Sure.
these vessels are still not popped, which means we still have small Grimflayers and Dryads.
So it's interesting. Oh my gosh.
Holy smokes. So many vessels.
Getting to like a Spanish Armada level of vessels.
Let's see what he can do here. This is a pretty critical turn.
So now that we have the Liliana play, you can understand why the Grim Flare was an important play. It provides an additional level of comfort for that Liliana.
Sure.
He can if you pull in them all at Liliana, you get to kill her.
Woo! Take 5. That's a Magic the Gathering card I haven't seen in a while.
Wow,
Oh,
why didn't he? How did he not?
That attack.
That was not where I wanted to be. Unless you're gonna like consecutively Shaman of the Pack. Even then.
Yeah. Like, I really want... Like, maybe he has a Decimator in Provinces in hand or something. Even so, he's still so far off from casting it.
And Liliana's going to take a creature next turn anyway. There's a % chance that he just lets Liliana die and doesn't do any blocking.
I don't think that's a very high percentage, but it's certainly there. Delirium is active, has been announced.
This is...
Just throwing cards around.
Yeah, now you're so far out of range, you're never going to be able to kill Liliana. I love the way these Delirium decks are built. Like, Deadweight's such a cool card.
Sure. Deadweight's a very strong card in that game, especially in this matchup.
Right.
I don't know what he could have here. Like, Coco helps. Can't really tell what that card
needs, like,
is.
Back-to-back removal spells.
Like, you could Coco into a double Shaman of the Pack and just win here. I suppose it is pretty explosive. I don't want to be just passing turn, though. That can't feel good.
Yeah. And he has to remember to company in response to Liliana if he's on that line.
Right. I don't know that he even has a company in hand. I didn't see one.
Right.
But despite the life total discrepancy, the Delirium deck is totally in the driver's seat here.
Yeah. Does he get to Emrakul eventually?
I don't know. I'm sure he's playing one Emrakul.
Sure.
I don't know if that's necessarily his game plan.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, like, the Grim Flayer and Emrakul decks are separate decks. So we're going to kill the token here. Okay. That's certainly a thing.
That's an interesting line. See, now he's definitely... Oh, that's interesting.
Alright, so...
3, 4, 5, 6.
Alright, let's see.
If you show him 2 Shaman of the Packs here, it's just the worst.
Oh.
Just a card.
That's a bad whiff. You get 2 creatures, but still not where you want to be.
What do you do? Take 7 to the teeth here and crack back?
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't want to block here. I might throw a token in front of the Dryad, but see, you have 2, 4, 6, 8 damage. 10. Yeah. I would have just taken it all. Just hope that he doesn't have anything any misplayed. But you're out of this game right now. You really needed to hit more than that on the Coco.
Yeah, I think he needed to attack that Liliana several turns ago. Gosh, you get to traverse the even world. This deck plays so many cool cards.
Yeah. This is going to be an Ishkana, I'm guessing. There it is. Goodbye offense.
Yep, we're on the... We're on the comes into play trigger plan now.
Yep. I think we've got an Elvish Visionary in hand. You gotta dig into something. I don't know what he's thinking about here. But I don't know all the cards in his hand.
If he assumes... Alright, if he has Collect the Company, and he assumes he's just dead, the Elvish Visionary is the wrong thing to cast.
Right.
Alright, so...
So he probably doesn't have the company. He drew another Visionary, it looks like.
So we're gonna get to block.
That should keep him around for another turn.
Alright. Really, he's filling it up.
If he has another Visionary, I don't know what he's holding his mana up for, but I guess we'll find out. Come on, Tragic Slip. I missed that card.
Do you miss that card?
Yeah, I was a big Tragic Slip fan. 1 mana, neg 13 something.
Yeah. They give you the 5 mana neg 13 2 things.
Yeah, it's not the same.
It still feels good.
It feels good and sealed, I'll give you that.
Liliana up again, and she can just have any number of juicy targets. I'd take this Trapper personally.
Trapper's good. I don't hate what he did last time in getting rid of, or knocking down the Advocate.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in conjunction with the Deadweight. Was that the second Deadweight cast this game?
Yeah.
Double Deadweight is an aggressive build.
Yeah.
I like it though.
Yeah, I mean, one could have come out of the board.
Sure. Usually it's the first one coming out of the board.
Oh, really?
Or the first one in the main and there's just none on the board. But yeah, that's pretty aggressive. I like it.
Yeah, he's gotta block something.
Does he?
7, 8, 9, 10. I guess you could go to 1.
Well, he has 2 Land War Ways, so he definitely doesn't want to do that.
Right.
Just jump in front of a 3.
Alright. Yeah, so 3 elves are as good as 4.
Right.
Or even 5 here, if your plan is to company into the 2.
But it's also not playing around removal, which is probably not a good assumption based on how much he's been manipulating the top of his library.
Sure.
But maybe the dead weight is what he's been digging towards.
See, I do not like that last block.
No. What's the difference between 7 and 9 here?
Well, 2 is the difference, but it doesn't make much difference inside the game.
Nice observation.
Resolving this.
Yeah, we're resolving the Grimflare
Grimflare
activation.
trigger, yep.
Trigger, sorry. I'm a big fan of just default putting all 3 in the yard.
Mm-hmm. Just no-look it?
No, you don't no-look it, but
Oh, yeah, you no-look it.
I very rarely will put 2 on top. Like, it takes a lot for me to put 2 on top of my library.
Alright.
Plays a morph.
What if you have 20 cards left?
What are we doing here? Having a debate over the pronunciation.
Of Emrakul.
Right.
I know his name became some sort of entrancing chant in the storyline
It did.
when they started replacing syllables in it.
With Rakul.
Right.
No Emrakuls.
Did he miss?
Yeah, there's just no Emrakuls.
Whoops. That's not going to get the job done, folks.
No. See, and this is why Infinite Obliteration is so bad. Like, even if you know he has it in his deck, you're not getting anything out of his hand. It's not affecting the board state in any way. Still had all these removal spells.
Yeah, just unloaded on him.
Well, green
that's-
black is going to take that one down pretty handily.
I like this deck going forward. It's gaining a fast land.
I think that fast lands just come in and they replace, for the most part. I know it doesn't help your Eldrazi.
Situation.
But, right. They just kind of replace the pain lands in
Sure.
a favorable way.
But yeah, I think that the deck picks up some cool things. There's a lot of green-black energy interaction.
A lot more artifact creatures, so you can incidentally get the artifact in the yard to help out with Delirium as well.
Oh yeah, there's that 3-drop uncommon that
Gives you energy and a card when it dies.
yeah.
Yeah. Or no, it's life and then a card when it dies.
Right.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, it doesn't
that's
matter.
a
I mean,
solid one.
that card's awesome. If he gets anything on the way in and the way out, I feel like it makes it worth more than the card it's printed on.
That's a fair observation. 2 life and a card replaces itself, and it's a 2/2, which is no slouch.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly can't rumble with your Sylvan Advocate, which is my barometer in Standard right now.
Fair enough. It blocks the 3/2 guy if you don't have any energy, or it forces you to pay the energy.
Right.
So,
All right.
Not
Well, we're gonna
terrible,
have more magic action
hot magic action.
coming from GameSpot Mason here on Top Deck Productions. Stay tuned after the replays, or stay tuned for the replays.
You take 6. The painful truths are extremely painful for you. And these stupid scions are protecting me from Liliana.
Did you have it? 10? Actual stone
Actual
rain?
stone rain. This
What
time
are you
nuts.
doing?
Go. This is the situation. This is fine.